the moonlit night, Captain Jonathan Ashford's ship met its demise, succumbing to the merciless tempest that lashed against its wooden hull. As the vessel splintered and plunged into the tumultuous sea, Jonathan found himself cast ashore on an island, a foreboding realm where his deepest fear awaited. As he staggered onto the desolate shore, the dim moonlight revealed an eerie landscape draped in shadows. The air carried a sinister hiss, and Jonathan's heart quickened as he beheld the daunting truth. The island was overrun with snakes. Their slithering forms adorned the ground, twisted around trees, and hung from low branches like ominous decorations. Jonathan, paralyzed by his irrational fear of snakes, recoiled at the nightmarish scene before him. The island, once a sanctuary from the tempest, now became a phobic prison, each serpent embodying his deepest dread. The hissing symphony echoed through the darkness, a disconcerting serenade that intensified the grip of fear around his heart. As he attempted to navigate the treacherous terrain, the serpents coiled and slithered in calculated patterns, blocking every path. Their eyes, glinting with an otherworldly malevolence, seemed to watch Jonathan's every move. Each step he took was met with a sinister response from the island's serpentine inhabitants. Driven by desperation, Jonathan sought refuge atop a rocky outcrop, a precarious haven that offered temporary respite from the sea of snakes below. The moon cast an ethereal glow, revealing the labyrinthine landscape of the island, where serpents moved with a synchronized grace that bordered on the supernatural. Days turned into agonizing nights as Jonathan clung to his rocky sanctuary, tormented by the unrelenting presence of the snakes below. The island's serpentine inhabitants, seemingly aware of his fear, orchestrated an ominous dance that kept him trapped in a nightmarish purgatory. In his isolation, Jonathan began to question the boundaries between reality and the supernatural. Whispers of an ancient curse emerged, an island bound by serpents, an eerie manifestation of his phobia brought to life by forces beyond comprehension. As the moon reached its zenith, casting an otherworldly glow over the island, a haunting revelation unfolded. The serpents, guided by an unseen force, coiled around Jonathan's rocky refuge, their sinuous forms forming an intricate tapestry. The air vibrated with an ominous energy as the island itself seemed to respond to the convergence of fear and the supernatural. In a climactic moment, the serpents parted, revealing a spectral figure at the island's center, a serpent deity that bore the weight of Jonathan's irrational dread. The deity's eyes, mirrors of the island's serpents, locked onto Jonathan's paralyzed form with an ancient knowingness. As the deity extended its serpentine form, the island quivered with an ethereal resonance. Jonathan, caught between the realm of fear and the supernatural, felt the boundaries of his phobia unraveling. The serpents, once embodiments of dread, now seemed to dance with a spectral grace that transcended his irrational fear. In an inexplicable communion, Jonathan found himself released from the shackles of his phobia. The island's serpents, no longer agents of torment, slithered away into the shadows, leaving him alone with the serpent deity. The moonlight waned, and the island, once a realm of fear, transformed into an ethereal sanctuary where the supernatural and the irrational found an uneasy truce. As Jonathan stood amidst the serpentine aftermath, the island's eerie quietude lingered. The serpent deity, now a spectral presence in the moonlit night, regarded him with an otherworldly gaze. The boundaries between the natural and supernatural had become indistinct, leaving Jonathan to grapple with the enigmatic convergence of his fear and the island's spectral inhabitants. In the hushed moments that followed, the serpent deity communicated through a language beyond words. Jonathan, once entangled in the coils of his phobia, felt a strange sense of communion. The serpents, now docile and ethereal, encircled him like guardians in the moonlit sanctuary. As the spectral communion unfolded, the serpent deity conveyed the island's secret. The ancient curse had bound it to the fears of those who sought refuge on its shores. The island's serpents, once malevolent manifestations of dread, were now benevolent guardians, conduits for a supernatural force that sought to liberate those ensnared by their own fears. With a serpentine gesture, the deity guided Jonathan toward the island's center, an ancient altar adorned with symbols that resonated with the supernatural energy. The moonlight infused the altar with an ethereal glow, and Jonathan, once paralyzed by fear, felt a newfound courage surging within him. In a symbolic act, The serpent deity invited Jonathan to confront his phobia head-on. With each step toward the altar, the spectral presence of fear unraveled, leaving behind a sense of empowerment that transcended the irrational dread. The island, once a prison of phobia, became a crucible for transformation. As Jonathan reached the altar, the serpent deity's eyes mirrored a profound approval. The island's serpents, now shimmering with a spectral radiance, coiled around him in a final dance, a symbolic gesture that marked the breaking of the ancient curse. In a climactic surge of supernatural energy, the island quivered with the release of centuries-old enchantment. The moonlit sanctuary, once draped in shadows, now exuded an ethereal brilliance. The serpents, now ethereal guardians rather than agents of fear, slithered away into the island's depths, leaving Jonathan alone with the serpent deity. With the ancient curse lifted, Jonathan found himself standing on the shores of newfound liberation. The moonlight cast a radiant glow over the transformed island, where serpents and supernatural forces coexisted in a delicate harmony. The spectral deity, a guardian of the island's secrets, nodded with an otherworldly wisdom before dissipating into the moonlit night. As Jonathan prepared to leave the enigmatic sanctuary, he carried with him not only the memory of overcoming his phobia, but also the understanding that the supernatural forces had been both his captors and liberators. The island, once a realm of dread, now stood as a testament to the intricate dance between fear and the unknown.